Hey everyone, today I'm coming to you with a review on the brand new Star Wars The Vintage Collection Star Wars Jedi Survivor Cal Kestis and BD1. It doesn't say BD1, but we gotta acknowledge him as well. This is a massive figure for the Vintage Collection line. Everyone has been wanting a Cal Kestis in TVC for so long. We did get like 2 in Black Series, and we are getting this design in the Black Series coming up very, very shortly, but we have never gotten Cal Kestis in the line before. We got some gaming grades figures from the game that were just, some army builders, but not once did we get Cal Kestis, and finally, here we are in early 2023, we have a Cal Kestis. Now, like I mentioned, it isn't based off of Fallen Order. It is based off the upcoming, highly anticipated Jedi Survivor game, and I gotta say, that was probably a smart decision, because with the upcoming game coming up, if they were to do a Fallen Order design, by the time the game comes out, everyone would be wanting this, but instead, now that the game's gonna be out, you can just go get the brand new design, and I gotta say, this is a superb TVC figure. Everything about this is awesome, and the accessories are amazing as well. But without further ado, let's get into the TVC Cal Kestis review. Now, as always, I do want to start off with the packaging. This is your standard TVC box design, but there you have Cal Kestis on the front. Very nice image from the upcoming game, as well as BD1 on his back. The Kenner logo down below, as always. Cal Kestis up there for his name in green, as well green in the bubble, and then the Jedi Survivor title up top. On the back, you have the other figures in this wave, as well as a few others that are releasing alongside of it. You have Vader, Kenobi, both from Obi-Wan Kenobi, Klatooinian Raider, Luke Skywalker, Imperial Light Cruiser. I have a review for him up right now. Go check that out once you're done with this one. Cal Kestis, which we're reviewing right now. Cassian Andor, Artillery Stormtrooper. Also have a review for that one. And Vel Sartha. And then on the bottom there, you can see the price tag, which is pretty fair for this figure, especially because it is a brand new skull. But other than that, not much more to talk about with the packaging. And here we have the Cal Kestis figure himself, along with his accessories, which is what I do want to start off with. And of course, the main accessory here is BD1. This is an entirely new sculpt, as is all of this figure. It is an entirely new sculpt, as it does require that, but this is a awesome little piece to get. The first time we are getting a BD droid in the TVC line, and I gotta say, they absolutely nailed it. This thing is so tiny, but they did manage to get all the necessary details on it across. Very nice paint going around, and you do also have the ability to just take off the legs, which they do come off fairly easily. I will go over the articulation right now, but the head is just on a ball joint, so moves around like that in full 360, and then the legs can just go back and forth, and you can, no, you can't really. I was going to say you can kind of spread them apart, but they will probably just fall off. But yeah, as it stands, very good BD1 unit. For scale, there's the Black Series one. It's not the same color one, but this is from the Gaming Grades Galaxy Packaging design. And then next up here, we do have Cal's iconic lightsaber. One is it powered, and the other is just the hilt, and they are the same size, so you don't have to really worry about any inconsistencies, and the paint does look very good on them. Very sturdy as well, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. Now, for the unignited one, you do have a peg on the side in which you can attach to the belt of the figure, which does look very good. As you can see, fits on there very well and is not going to come off. Now, the last accessory included is the first for Cal Kestis in this game. He did not have one in the first game, is a blaster. And this blaster, I gotta say, is a very unique design for Star Wars. It almost looks kind of like a real life gun, looks like some sort of Western pistol. As the rest of this figure kind of does look Western, kind of has like a Western design going through it. I don't know if that's a good way of putting it, but hey, I did it anyway. But anyway, you do have a holster for the gun, and it does go in like so. And it does stick out at the bottom, but both of the things on his belt stay in very good, which is always what you want with these TVC figures. Now, for the figure itself, I gotta say, they really knocked it out of the park. Head to toe, this piece is absolutely amazing. Now, starting with the face, the photoreal does look very good. And the stubble that they added, especially for it being a TVC. I know I have this up-close shot. Sometimes you forget how tiny these things are, but they really did a great job on the face. Like, just look at that stubble. Very well done, and the eyes look great as well. I do have to say, though, I kind of had a little problem with the hair. I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Ugh, I don't like that. It looks like a little blob of paint that kind of hardened on his head. It's not too big of a deal, but it does kind of bother me, and I know if I pick it off, then he'll just have a kind of skin-colored spot on his forehead or on his head, which will look definitely out of place, and I have no desire to repaint that, so I guess I'm just going to leave that there. That's not going to be in all of them. That is just mine, I imagine, but still something to note nonetheless. Now, for the rest of the figure, I really do like this vest. This whole costume is very, very unique, and I'm really excited to see how this kind of plays out in the game. It's going to look very, very cool in action, I imagine, and then the sleeves kind of rolled up look great as well. You do have two little silver things on his shoulder. And then the forearms are kind of well, I was going to say they're the exact same, but on this side you do have this silver kind of bracelet or band going around, which does look very, very nice. I love that silver color. I do have to say that silver color is similar to the lightsaber, and now that I see that, I really do wish that this gun would have been that same color. I don't know if that's accurate to the game. I haven't paid that close of attention to what it looked like in the trailers or any of the concept, but I imagine it being that color would have been more accurate. You know, what do I know? I haven't even played the game yet. What does anyone know? But anyway, for the back of the figure, you do have this kind of bandolier or whatever you want to call it, this belt that's not a belt going around him. Looks very good. And then you have this kind of little shoulder pad, which does look good. Now, my main problem with this figure is the fact that you don't have anywhere to attach BD1 to his back. You have this thing going around. You would have thought there would have been a little spot to peg his foot in that would have gone like so. I mean, you could probably put like a glue dot and that would work, but even just getting the thumbnail, it took me so long to just get him on the Cal Kestis figure. What I did and what I recommend, and kind of the only option that you can do, is kind of tuck the foot of BD1 into the shoulder like so. And that doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible either. It actually works quite well, but that isn't really accurate to the game, as in the game he is on the back. Not a, well, I was going to say not a huge deal, but it is a big deal because this is a awesome figure and it is an entirely new sculpt, so I just don't get why they didn't think about adding a little peg or something to put the BD1 on. Now, for the rest of the figure, the belt going down looks awesome. This paint on this figure, I gotta really stress, is really, really good, minus that little spot on the head, but you have a little bit of what it looks like some bullets or some shells on his belt. Looks great. And then you can see the belt is also that same kind of silver color as is on the bracelet and the, I don't feel like it should be called bracelet, the wrist guard or whatever we're calling it, as it is on the lightsaber. Same colors for all of those. And then the pants are using this brown color, which does look very, very nice. There you have the factory code thing. Not the greatest. Might get rid of that. But then the boots there look very, very good. There you have those two kind of things that are also on the shoulders. They're just not painted. I don't know if that's accurate. I imagine it is. It is also like that on the other boot, but these boots look very, very nice. And I love that they are a slightly different color as opposed to the actual pants. And then you do have some kind of pockets there as well, and also on the other side as well. But other than that, that's all that I have to really say about this Cal Kestis figure. So let's get on to his articulation. Now, for the articulation on the Cal Kestis, it is pretty good for a figure of this size, but the head goes up that much, down, side, side, full 360. There's your full range right there. Arms go out that much, down, full 360. Single jointed elbows go in exactly 90, and then both hands do have a vertical hinge, so down, up, full 360. Very good to get that hinge, especially because he does have a lightsaber and a gun. Love getting those hinges over the other ones. The ab crunch doesn't actually move that much, but it goes down, essentially not at all. Back, essentially not at all. And then full 360, but yeah, not the greatest movement with that, but nothing too bad either. Then the legs do kick forward that much. Back, well, I guess we'll do the other one. Same thing though. Splits, upper thigh, cut, single jointed knees, goes in exactly 90. You do have rotation there as well. I also didn't mention that, but you do have rotation at the arm. And then the ankles do go up, down, and beautiful ankle rocker pivot. Well, first, for comparisons, here we have Cal next to a TVC Stormtrooper as well as a TVC Scout Trooper. I didn't get the TVC 3-pack from the game. I do want to get it eventually. I just didn't get it in time for this figure. I see it everywhere, so hopefully I will get it on a little bit of clearance. Here you have Cal next to a TVC Death Trooper as well as the TVC Electro Staff Purge Trooper. Here we have Cal next to the TVC Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader, as well as the TVC Emperor Palpatine. And then lastly, for comparisons, here we have the TVC Cal next to a TVC Dark Trooper, as well as the TVC Imperial Light Cruiser Luke Skywalker. I remember when Season 2 of Mandalorian was coming out and they were kind of teasing the Jedi that was going to save Grogu. A lot of people were theorizing that it was going to be Cal, so just think, maybe there's an alternate timeline where we got Cal in the Light Cruiser instead of Luke. That would have been interesting, but hey, Luke was insane nonetheless. Now, for my final thoughts on this TVC Cal Kestis, I gotta say Hasbro did a very, very good job on this figure, and it just shows how much the TVC line has progressed through the years. This is easily one of the best figures they've done, and I gotta say it is a must-have for any TVC fan and any Jedi Fallen Order fan and Jedi Survivor fan. Not that there really is any Jedi Survivor fans yet, because the game hasn't come out, but we all know that there will be once it is. Now, at the price point of around $20, I absolutely recommend this figure, and I'm gonna give it a 9.6 out of 10. I think that is a suitable rating because the main problems I have is that BD1 can't be attached to the back. That is quite a substantial problem, as well as the ab crunch isn't that great. But other than that, this is a absolutely amazing Cal Kestis figure and just a absolutely amazing TVC figure in general. But that is what I have to say about that. Please let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below. As always, I have been Jagger Collector, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.